and one of the children of the Million Man March, convened by Dr. Khalid Muhammad, who also struggled for that great march in '95. Well, the child of the Million Man March, one of its children, like the Million Woman March, was the Million Youth March, convened by Dr. Khalid Muhammad. In 1998, Harlem, New York. I was blessed to be his attorney and his youth organizer. And after several court battles in federal court, we were victorious over New York City government, won those rights to march, won the rights to march, and had convened this infamous rally in Harlem. And due to the acrimony between Rudy Giuliani. Y'all know Giuliani on a national level. We know him as a Republican mayor of New York that's touted his strong strengths against so-called crime. And his clash with Dr. Khalid Muhammad around this led to the infamous events of the September 5th, 1998 Million Youth March. And it's forever a great day in my life and Khalid Muhammad's life. And I'm happy to report, to summarize, I'm happy to report that in the spirit of continuation of why we mobilize Million Man March, Million Youth March, I have to say that your brother Malik Zulu Shabazz, a student of Khalid Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan, amongst many others, is still organizing and building and fighting in this liberation struggle, which is the objectives of those marches, that we keep struggling and fighting on a higher level. So I'm checking in and reporting in, sir, and I have a report.
Well, good. Some people didn't understand how what happened at the Million Youth March. Can you share that with us?
Okay, well, what happened was, again, the buildup of tensions. Here in 1998, which was probably Dr. Khalid Muhammad's greatest revolutionary year. James Byrd was murdered in Jasper, Texas, and a militant and radical Khalid Muhammad appeared as the leader of the new Black Panther Party, the emerging new Black Panther Party, in honor of the legacy of the notorious Black Panther Party. And so this made national news. This put Khalid Muhammad in a very strong political position in 1998. And at the same time, we had moved on the James Byrd situation and against the Klan, running the Klan out of Jasper, Texas, and the new Black Panther Party came to light for that armed demonstration, and Muhammad at the center of it. At the same time, we were pressing for the Million Youth March for September 5th, 98 in New York. At this time, Khalid Muhammad had been in limbo with in his status with the Nation of Islam, and as detailed in my book, The Book of Khalid. At this point in time, 1998, Khalid Muhammad made a firm decision to advance his leadership as best he knew how. And so what happened was a strong and fearless black man, Khalid Muhammad, announced his event, and a white man, Rudy Giuliani, who felt himself equally as strong as a white man, and he controlled the city. They clashed. And Giuliani, all our negotiations with the city, I as the attorney, the negotiations collapsed. We had to go into court. The court ruled in our favor. But all along the way, there was a war of words between Muhammad and Giuliani. And Giuliani himself admitted he had never heard rhetoric like this since the 1960s, as he had met his match with Khalid Muhammad. And Khalid Muhammad rose to be a black hero. I mean, he was already well revered in New York, but I mean, he was a hero by the time this march came, and we couldn't go anywhere. He was a hero, strongest black man in New York, and because of everything I said, considered to be one of the strongest black men in America at that time. On our way, we met the Honorable Kwame Ture. You know him some as Stokely Carmichael. We met him in New York and sat down and got his revolutionary blessings, wisdom, and guidance. And so up on the march where Giuliani gets his revenge because he had lost in court. Khalid Muhammad had upbraided him in the public. He had usurped all of Giuliani's minions and blacks who had signed on to his payroll, some of them Muslims. Giuliani got his revenge. He brought out 5,000 police officers to police this Million Youth March event, which in itself drew about 20,000. Well, for every 4 persons, there was a police officer. There was 5,000 cops. There was helicopters, snipers on the roofs, barges on the East River to carry people away, armored vehicles all in the area, and there was a situation that was set for a clash, and it was a great program. Revolutionaries from all across the country spoke. Hip hop legends spoke. It was a great program. It was a great day, but it did clash at the end of that day. It did clash, and Khalid Muhammad spoke a fiery speech at the end of that march, and he criticized the police strongly, and the court gave us a 4:00 deadline to end, and normally, you know, you have a grace period or whatever, but at 4:01 exactly, Giuliani sent the troops in with their shields and helmets, and they moved in like a battalion in a close, tight battalion in on the Million Youth March defenses. And it was a big clash, and 17 cops went to the hospital, and 7 of our men went to the hospital. And I'll take a break right now because I said a lot, but that's what happened. It was a real live throwdown. It ended with a real live throwdown with the police. Khalid Muhammad was the keynote speaker.
Yeah, I remember that. 30 minutes off the top there. But Brother Malik, what was the beef? What was the fight about? Was because you guys were running overtime? Was that all?
The fight was about this. How dare, according to Giuliani, how dare Khalid Muhammad challenge me? How dare him upbraid me? How dare him call me the names that he's called going up to this march, and so I'm going to show him. And so he set the stage. Giuliani set the stage for the confrontation by packing the march and the sides of it with the police. And it could be fair to say that our revolutionary Khalid Muhammad was offended by that or even triggered by that, because as we got up to the deadline hour, first of all, I mean it's an intricate story. He told me, my dear leader Khalid Muhammad told me that he did not intend to speak. And so when you watch the program, you see DJ Kool Herc, Sister Erica Ford, Viola Plummer's representative. You see any number of greats, Alambe Brass. They all youth and rappers coming to the mic, and it doesn't even seem like Khalid Muhammad was going to speak. But what he tells us at the Oberia Dempsey Center at the Slave Theater, guest of Alton Maddox, rest his soul, what he tells us is that the situation became so intense and that he anticipated a police attack on the marchers. And I agree with him. That they set the stage for attack. So it was his march. So I guess he was going to make a statement, and his statement was a strong statement of intervention and warning to the police and condemnation to the police. So you've heard him. Some of you may have heard clips, or you can Google it if you want to refresh it. Million Youth March Khalid Muhammad, because he said, because he's known for his famous words on that day, and speaking to Giuliani, he says, Giuliani, he say, you stacked your police all in the aisles and all in the churches. But if you attack us today by the power of our God, if you attack us today, we'll take those guns. This is Muhammad's words. We'll take those guns off of your hips and use those guns on you. And made similar statements about the nightsticks that had been used on Albert, that had been used on Louima to sodomize Louima. Well, at this speech, Muhammad promised that those same nightsticks would be used in the reverse direction against the police. And so, Brother Carl, that's what triggered Giuliani also. And it could be fairly said that these two warriors triggered each other. And so at 4:01 p.m., Giuliani let his troops and helicopters in, and it was a big fight. And as I said, it was a throwdown. They took the stage by force, but they didn't take it without a price. 17 of them went to the hospital. Two of our men were arrested. Muhammad was a hell of a melee. Muhammad was taken out under emergency circumstances, and it wasn't no smooth ending. I can't lie to you. When they say the Million Man March, where there was not as much as a piece of paper, they'll say wasn't a piece of paper left on the ground, that it wasn't a joint smoked on the mall, and that it was the most peaceful day. Well, they're right about this. But this was different. This was Khalid Muhammad, and it's probably fitting to his career and his character that his march was this controversial.
26 away from the top of there. Did he anticipate that things were going to go south? Did he have contingency plans just in case the cops wilded out like they did?
I honestly speaking, when I look back at it, it was 7 years later, however many years it is. When I look back at it, I would have to say no. I would have to say Muhammad was mostly operating off of his gut revolutionary instincts in the decisions and the choices he made that day. I can honestly remember her name, Sister Viola Plummer. She came up and to me at some point asking me, what was the plan? What was the plan? Was it fight or flight? She asking me. Well, hell, I don't know. I mean, just talking amongst each other. I don't know what the plan was. All I know is that Muhammad was in charge. And as the march got close to 4 o'clock deadline, and as the tension built, you could see things changing on the stage. I mean, on the stage, we had the Honorable Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakanan on the stage, and a host of revolutionaries. Honors to Sister Moena, who helped us, one of Kwame Ture's AAPRP reps in New York. So the whole stage was packed during the program, and everybody was fighting to speak. But you know, it's kind of strange that when it got to around 4 o'clock and Muhammad was about to speak, the stage is clear. I don't know what happened. We gave no order, but somehow or another, Dr. Ben was gone, the stage was clear, and by the time Khalid Muhammad spoke, it was no chairs up there, and it was myself and Brother Talib and Cornell X and some others on security post, and I knew that I was in the back trying to manage both ends. I was moderating the program, and I was in the back trying to build the defensive line in the back with the men we had in the back. Remember getting one man, some of the Panthers from Dallas was there, another whole host of men, Patrice Peterson, who I later defended in a criminal trial from the charge he caught there. I remember myself in the back yelling at the police to back up as they kept taking an inch step forward every minute or however pace they was coming. And at the same time, mobilizing a line of men in the back to cover the line in the back. Two lines of men, I think all we could muster, about 35 men. And I tried to go back and forth doing that.
I tell you, Malik, thank you for sharing those memories with us.